Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning and welcome to RPtv. Today is March 12th, 2020. Last night, President Trump addressed the nation with his plans on how to deal with the coronavirus spread. Michelle has that report.
Donald Trump said last night he is suspending all travel between the U.S. and Europe for 30 days beginning on Friday as he seeks to combat the viral coronavirus pandemic. Trump made the announcement in an Oval Office address to the nation, blaming the European Union for not acting quickly enough to address the foreign virus and saying U.S. clusters were seeded by European travelers. Trump said the restrictions won't apply to the United Kingdom and the U.S. would monitor the situation to determine if travel could be reopened earlier. Trump said he was also directing agencies to provide unspecified financial relief for workers who are ill, quarantined, or caring for others due to coronavirus, and asked Congress to take action to extend it. Trump said the U.S. will defer tax payments for some individual and business filers for 3 months to lessen the impacts of the virus outbreak. Trump said, "We are marshaling the full power of the government and private sector to protect the American people."
For many Americans, the reality of the coronavirus is starting to set in, as many major traditional events have been canceled. Caitlin has the details.
Yesterday, the nation snapped to attention as the new coronavirus was declared a pandemic. Stocks slid into bear market territory, and the American public finally began to come to grips with the outbreak. President Donald Trump held a rare primetime address from the Oval Office to calm the public. The NCAA announced that its college basketball tournament would be played before largely empty arenas. The news was full of the cancellations of St. Patrick's Day parades, major university systems in California, New York, New Jersey, and elsewhere ending classes for the term, and late-night comedians making plans to film without live studio audiences. California Governor Gavin Newsom issued a guidance urging an end to all events involving more than 250 people, and even small gatherings in spaces that don't allow for social distancing. Yesterday, he said not holding that concert or community event can have a cascading effect, saving dozens of lives and preserving critical health care resources that your family may need a month from now. A ban had been imposed by Washington Governor Jay Inslee on all gatherings of 250 or more people, 250 or more Seattle's metro area. The San Francisco Bay Area and other American cities also have banned large gatherings of people, while celebrations including St. Patrick's Day parades in Chicago and Savannah, Georgia, were canceled.
Now it's time for the announcements. Story time with Ariel. This Saturday, on March 14th at 10 a.m. at the RPHS Library, our very own Ariel, RPHS senior Isis Gonzalez, will be reading the story of Disney's The Little Mermaid to anyone and everyone. There will be plenty of fun, including a coloring station and a costume contest with prizes. So make sure you dress like your favorite character. There is a $5 suggested donation at the door, and light refreshments will be served. We hope to see you there. Tickets for the 2020 RPHS theater production of Disney's The Little Mermaid go on sale today. Performances are set for March 26th at 7:30 p.m., March 27th at 7:30 p.m., and two shows on March 28th at 1 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets will be available at showtixforyou.com. Support the TSA with the Dine to Donate Chipotle fundraiser on Wednesday, March 18th from 4 to 8 p.m. Bring in the attached flyer, show it on your smartphone, or tell the cashier you're supporting the Roselle Park High School TSA. Anime Club will be meeting on Thursday, March 19th. All students are welcome. Room 105 after school. Pasta Night will take place on Thursday, March 26th. There is also the opening of the spring musical, so it's a great time to enjoy dinner and a show. Pasta Night begins at 5:30 p.m. and ends at 7 p.m. Early access at 4 p.m. for all students involved in the spring musical. Ticket prices are $10 for adults, $7 for students and senior citizens, and $5 for kids 6 and under. Great food from many local restaurants will be served. Food Truck Festival will take place on Saturday, March 28th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. There is a $5 admission fee. Food Truck on the Food Truck Festival flyer. Art Club and National Art Honor Society meet Fridays after school in room 102. We will be working on projects and explore new media. Join us. Also, Art Club and NAHS are collecting real or made-up recipes to raise money for undernourished people around the world. These can be any size, handwritten, and decorated, and will be sent to a program funded by the Bezos Family Foundation. In March, the donation has been doubled. For each recipe submitted, $6 will be donated to organizations providing food. Please help. See Ms. Scuccio for further information and supplies. Seniors. Cap and gown measurements for graduation will be held in the student cafeteria today at 2 p.m. If you are you unavailable on the date or time, please see Mrs. O'Connell in the main office. Our final segment this morning is a new feature called Checkin' In. Let's go to the video to see who is the star for today.
Favorite part about RPHS?
Well,
I love Roselle Park High School because I live in Roselle Park. My name is Madame Nezius. I teach French here. My two boys, Monroe and David, they go to Robert Gordon Elementary School. So I live in Roselle Park. I teach here. This is my home. This is personal to me. And the students are very grateful to have French, to have me and to have French. Yeah. And I'm happy to be here.
What is your favorite part about teaching?
Well, I was born in Haiti. I came here when I was 14. I speak French. I love to teach French because it connects me with my people back home and to the other 300 million other people who speak French from Senegal, Ivory Coast, Côte d'Ivoire, Haiti, France, Canada. So I love to teach.
And lastly, what would you do if you weren't a teacher?
Oh, wow. There are many other things. I went to school. I studied business and education. And my father wanted me to be an attorney, so I exceed his expectation. I become a teacher because I always want to be around people and I always want to be around children. I come from a big family of six girls, so I always want to be in a place where I can help and I can be around kids. So teaching French is such a glorious thing for me. But if I wasn't teaching, I'll be a business person, an entrepreneur, although I sell real estate. And I'll be a model too, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, and I'll be a minister also. I love life, so I will be anything.
Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Wash your hands. And stay tuned for CNN 10.
Hi, I'm Carl Azus for CNN 10. Yesterday, a student tweeted and asked me to keep everyone updated on the new coronavirus. He said he went to New York's Lakeland Central School District, which is closed because of virus concerns. And yesterday, on the U.S. West Coast, the governor of Washington State told school districts there to get ready for possible closures. This is just one effect of the quickly spreading virus. Thursday night's NBA game between the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors is scheduled to be played without fans. Saudi Arabia just announced it was closing movie theaters across the country, and India says anyone who's traveling there after visiting hard-hit countries like China and Italy will be quarantined for at least 2 weeks. The World Health Organization, part of the United Nations, has declared that the new coronavirus is a pandemic, meaning it has spread worldwide. The group says this is the first time that a coronavirus, a type of disease that can cause respiratory problems, has caused a pandemic, but it added that several countries have shown the virus can be suppressed and controlled.
Around the country tonight, some workplaces are telling their employees stay home because of the coronavirus outbreak. Tech giants Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Facebook are asking employees in Seattle to work from home when possible, with the encouragement of local officials.
We are encouraging employers to maximize telecommuting.
Other employers are preparing to make that move. NASA and J.P. Morgan Chase are preparing by conducting one-day telework practice runs. In New York State, a few thousand people have been asked to self-quarantine. Teleworking, teleconferencing, refraining from travel, getting much of our work done at home could soon be much more commonplace. The University of Washington in Seattle said classrooms will be shuttered for the next 2 weeks.
In many of our classrooms, there is incredibly close proximity.
Meanwhile, some schools like St. John Vianney in Homedale, New Jersey, can offer students their lessons, textbooks, and assignments online, and are prepared to go into virtual days if the school needs to close. Is America ready to telework?
I think that we're already seeing over the past 15 years a lot of companies, even very large companies that might surprise you, like IBM, which has a huge portion of its workforce working at home already.
But for many, that means a shift in workplace culture. Employees will need to be outfitted at home with the computers and other equipment they'll need, and they have to be trained on how to use them.
Luckily, the stuff's very, very intuitive. Obviously, there's a number of different software solutions out there to enable telework or virtual conferencing. Very simple to set up.
Workplace analysts acknowledge there are many businesses, like car makers, factories, food services, banks with retail branches, where employees working remotely is out of the question. But in other sectors, they say, the psychological advantages of working from home could lead to better productivity. Employees feel less stressed. The freedom of being able to walk around at home and grab a snack can build creativity. The downsides? Sometimes employees feel isolated or lose focus on the mission.
People who are not used to working in a remote location at home, falling victim to the fact that they're at home and they get to work in bunny slippers, which they might mistake for the opportunity to sort of goof off and maybe miss some deadlines.
Stephen Ward, whose cybersecurity firm has about half its people working from home, has a formula for keeping those employees focused and motivated.
Use your calendar, set tasks for yourself. Get up and take a shower. Simply just going through that process of not working in your pajamas is a good idea.
How does a virus spread? There are plenty of ways. It could be a sneeze, a handshake, to name a few. Then there's our habits, washing our hands, not touching our face. Even the climate may play a role in determining how far and how fast an infection spreads. Scientists have summed up how far an infection can spread with a number. It's called R0. A number greater than 1 indicates it'll grow. Less than 1 indicates the outbreak will die out. Scientists determine the number with a formula that brings together all the environmental and biological factors. This is how it looks in reality. An infection is introduced to a human, from an animal, let's say. The bigger the R0 number, the more people a virus can infect. So an R0 of 2 means that patient 0 will, on average, infect 2 other people, who in turn can infect another 2 people, and so on. An infection like measles sits higher up the spectrum, with an R0 of between 12 and 18. At the lower end is something like Ebola, with an R0 number of 1.5 to 2.5. And while the flu varies from year to year, one study reports it averages to 1.2. But as various factors change, so too does the R0. Take SARS. When it first emerged, SARS spread rapidly with a high R0, but people were only contagious once symptoms started showing. Once people were informed about the symptoms, they started coming to the hospital earlier. People could check themselves into hospital before infecting other people, pushing the R0 number below 1. And that is how a virus can spread.
Our next topic today concerns the issue of slavery. It's not a thing of the past. That's part of the mission statement of CNN's Freedom Project, which aims to increase international awareness about modern-day slavery and to take steps to stop it. On March 11th, which has been called My Freedom Day, students worldwide raised their voices about these issues.
Here in Hong Kong, my Freedom Day feels a little bit different this year. Instead of being at a school, I'm in the studio where I've been talking to students via video chat. Because of the coronavirus outbreak, schools are closed here for at least 2 months, but that has not diminished their activism.
Freedom means to me being able to go out, being able to travel. I have a lot of family friends overseas who have experienced xenophobia, especially in Italy. I had a family member travel there, and there were a lot of xenophobic remarks. So I think freedom to me also means being able to be accepted anywhere.
I think a big freedom that's important to me is freedom of speech. Even though school's been closed, through these kind of online platforms, we've been able to continue these discussions and maintain that freedom.
I think at this current time, I think we should be very grateful for our opportunity and freedom to continue learning.
What you've learned about the problem of modern day slavery and how you're choosing to respond to it.
One big statistic that I actually saw recently in the news was 1 in 200 people is a slave. And that surprised me because I thought that was something that only happened 200 years ago, and I just thought it was astounding.
I think that in Hong Kong we have a form of modern day slavery in the abuse of migrant workers and helpers. Recently we've done a mask drive where we donate them sanitizing products and masks to support them throughout this coronavirus period, especially when they don't get the support they need.
And due to the coronavirus, a lot of migrant workers have been asked by their employers to stay at home during these 24 hours instead of going out. The lines between, getting the rest and, continuing to work becomes quite blurred.
I mean, how optimistic are you that we could end modern day slavery?
To be perfectly honest, I do feel very optimistic about the situation. I think that our world now is much more aware of human rights.
Education is kind of the first step forward that I think we'll be able to make. Obviously, would hope that we would be able to end it, but I think that the more realistic first step is educating youth and motivating them to try to make a change in their lifetime.
Like, our generation seems quite responsible, but also motivated to want to make a change, and that's why I would like to keep that hope and that optimism that this can have a difference.
For 10 out of 10, 2. As in 2 little baby cheetahs. Their populations are believed to be decreasing in Africa, but they're on the up and up at the Columbus Zoo. One of the new cubs is a female who weighed about 3/4 of a pound at birth. The other, a male, tipped the scales at a pound. The zoo says it's raised many cheetah cubs before, and some have bonded with their human caretakers, allowing them to monitor the animal's health during births like this one. We've no intention of cheetahing you out of puns here. It's become a habitat of ours. Cat's the reason some of you love to watch, and chasing some down helps us make strides in creative writing. So there's Savannah no way we'd sprint away without cubbing up with 3 or carnivore or more. After all, we're always on the hunt. I'm Carl Azus. Cheetahs are joined by the Golden Eagles on today's show. That's the mascot of Lewistown Junior High School in Lewistown, Montana. Thank you for leaving a YouTube comment for CNN.